My legs have been so freaking sore this past week. Last week, Jeff had me working on just different imbalances, doing like one-legged step downs, and some kind of like weird hollow body tennis ball squeeze to work the adductors. And damn, I've been foam rolling all week, both post runs, before bed, just normally around the house. I have been sore. So I'm excited to go work on all that again as I'm starting to finally feel better. But this week I did do Jeff's homework. He gave me a whole circuit along with just some instructions to, as I said, foam roll and do some stretches pre and post runs, which I've been doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I did his homework this time, so he will be a proud training father. Two good wins though. I got on Saturday. I went running with my friends Keith and Chris and clocked a sub 2 hour half marathon. Hadn't done one of those in about 2 years, so it was good to get out and still have the pace and the stamina to hit it. And then yesterday went out for a little 3-mile run and had an average pace of 6:15. Was just like really hauling ass, trying to push as fast as I could, and I got a 5:58 mile split actually the first mile. So I was pretty stoked about that. All right, Jeff just texted me. I gotta run and meet him a few minutes late because of traffic and construction, which is always the case here in Somerville. We're back at BKB in Somerville for our third Tuesday session together.
Tuesday training with Ronzio.
Tuesday training. That's right. All right, what do we do today?
So I'm very happy and proud to admit that Ronzio did his homework over this week. And actually, you know what? I really don't like to call it homework. I like to call it growth work because it's in service of his personal growth. So it came in ready to go. So that enabled us to kind of build upon all those previous things that we had been working on in terms of his kind of scapular control, in terms of his straight arm strength, in terms of what was going on in his hip. Today, we focused a lot on core strength. And so when you're putting together a workout, one variable that I think a lot of people don't always think about is the order of exercises, like in total in the workout. And in one sense, it doesn't always matter that much. Obviously, it matters, are you going to do this move right after this move? And is that going to fatigue the same muscles? Is it going to use the same movement patterns or different ones? And that's going to impact things. But I think the most important takeaway is that typically whatever you train first in a workout is going to improve the most because you are the freshest, your nervous system is fresh, you have the most energy, you're probably going to be getting at it with more intensity and effort, and therefore it's going to improve more. And so we have noted that Ronzio's core probably could use a little bit of work, so we came in and we really just straight off the bat went right into some core work, starting with all sorts of different types of planks, moving into some more dynamic stabilization with renegade rows, and then some direct like rectus abdominis work with different types of straight leg lifts.
Is that a dinosaur?
And crunches. It's definitely a Jurassic Park exercise.
So wait, what I liked was what we were talking about around the thing where I was doing the push-ups and with the weights and the one hand. Is that the dinosaur that you're talking about?
That's going to be a renegade row.
That's the renegade row.
Push
okay.
up. You got a dumbbell in hands, and the focus there is really, we talked about sort of pre-tensioning your body, creating stability before you even lift that arm and move that weight.
Yeah, this was really good to think about that proactive stability, because like I was, when he first demonstrated it and I started doing it, I just was kind of like pulling up the dumbbell and trying to like just get the most out of like doing the push-up rows, right? But then you slowed me down and talked about like creating weightlessness in one arm before I even picked it up, so that you're putting that tension on your legs and your toes on the other arm, and you're creating that support system before you even pick up the other arm.
Yeah.
And I liked that about creating support before you do anything.
Great principle of like always thinking about, what is sort of this position of high stability that I can get my body into before I make some sort of, movement. And if that movement is going to be with a weight or on some sort of climbing wall, or if you're playing some sort of sport. And I like to say, the body is going to generate that stability no matter what. Like it will find it because that's how it's going to protect you, you know. But if you can do that proactively, you know, especially in a controlled environment where you are, you know, you're exercising deliberately to strengthen certain aspects of your physicality, it makes the work that you're doing that much more robust, and it really helps develop that mind-muscle connection. Like, could you feel in your body the difference, like, of like slowing down, like tensing everything first before you make that move,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Just being conscious about it.
Yeah.
Just really focusing on building that foundation and creating support. I loved that principle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
how are you, what are you building a foundation for, consciously, proactively for in your life, and what's your support look like?
yeah. So I mean, think about, are you, you know, are you getting into, you know, support reactively? Like, is life happening and then you are reacting and then trying to find some sort of stability in that situation? Or are you entering into that situation having already established this strong foundation and core and center from which you can move upon? Big difference. It's very subtle. From the outside, it might look almost the same, but you can feel it.
So now it's time to move on to some growth work for Jeff. We're talking website, we're talking brand, we're talking content, we're talking marketing, we're talking nurturing the Jeffrey Siegel wellness audience. As always, follow him, JES Wellness, and stay tuned for some really good stuff that we're going to be working on.